I guess what percentage do you think that of the coins have been cleaned before?
To come up with a number myself.
Okay, what's that number?
Pretty conservative. I thought came up right at 5,000.
Just to let you know, like these 3 coins, I would say haven't been cleaned before. It just has this very odd looking surfaces to it. It was just dipped very harshly, and the rest of them have been slightly cleaned or cleaned heavily. That's going to go into the price of it itself. I think everything here would be... Hey guys, Drew with Koosh Collectibles. Welcome back to a brand new video. In this video, we're going to be sitting down with Eddie. We're going to be buying all of his raw coins coming into the office, and then we're going to sit down and show you guys everything that we purchased. So without further ado, let's jump into today's video. So one of the most challenging things about raw coins themselves is determining whether they're cleaned or are they pure or not messed with, and also what grade would you put a coin at as well. And that starts with a developed eye. And so you can end up losing a lot of money very quickly when you're taking a look and buying raw coins through the office. We spent a lot of time buying coins over the years, so it's nothing that's new to us. But Eddie's gonna come in and we're gonna work up something and see if it goes through. He's wanting a big number and we don't know if we'll get there. We're also wanting to consider a trade as well. We know that gold has just crossed over $4,300 an ounce, so it's definitely gonna be an interesting time. Let's jump into it. As we get closer to 50,000 subscribers, we wanted to let you know what we are giving away to one special subscriber commenter. It's going to be this 1927 $20 gold piece graded MS65 by NGC. The rules go: the video after 50,000 subscribers, we are going to use a random comment picker and pick the winner of this $20 gold piece. We appreciate you guys commenting and liking and being a part of this road with us. Hey Eddie, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing good. Ready to party.
Awesome.
How'd you kind of come across some of these raw coins?
Well, I've been into bullion for a while and just come across these here and there.
Okay.
Some at LCS's, some online.
Nice.
Some small, little shows and stuff. This way here.
Sounds good.
There's a seeded dollar. There's a really smoking 32 bust in there.
Just trying to, I guess, determine which ones have been cleaned and which ones have not been cleaned, and then that's kind of where I'm just separating the two, basically.
Right.
Because most of these, have been cleaned before. Depends on how severe.
There's some rare coins in there, some Civil War era seeded halves and S mints. I think one of those S mints, I was a little questionable on the color on it. I'm pretty sure it's real. It weighed out and all that, but it kind of looked a little funny to me. Those are both rare coins.
So a lot of, I guess which goes into it is kind of like what I think the grade is, and then what I think I could sell it for, and then what I think I would pay for it. So it kind of has to all make sense, but it would take just a little bit of time for sure. Let me see.
Yeah, no worries. And there's that 17D type 1 in there.
Yep.
SOQ. And on that 32, I believe it's the small letters, small numbers, and looking at pictures of the high, 63, 64, 65s that wear on the the motto, not the motto, but up on the top. I think it's a soft strike and not necessarily wear, because there's some MS coins that have the same exact wear on it.
Yeah, it's just a softer strike. So are you wanting a number for everything, as a total? Is that what you were wanting? And basically just trying to understand you right, because that's kind of what we talked about on the phone.
Yes, if you want to put a number at me and we can see where that correlates in trade value as far as what I was looking for. Kind of see where we're at. I did come up with a number myself.
Okay, what's that number?
Pretty conservative, I thought, but again, you're going to be more the expert on the details and the.
Yeah, I'd like to know that number though, if possible. Just so I can understand where you're coming from.
I came up right at 5,000. If you look at some of the 78 and 76 seeded quarters, those got some pretty good value to them, and really rare 33 bust quarter in there. thought there was a possibility that 67 3-cent could be a proof, but I don't think it is. I need to get your opinion on that. I know this is just a price on a coin, but I've seen the rotated die 46.0 at more than 5,000 on its own details. So, but I know it's not worth that.
Yeah, that's something that I would just, if that's something that you feel like is that rare, I probably would just give it back to you at that point, just because.
No, I don't. I'm just saying I saw that price. I know it's not at that price.
The only issue also is the staple scratch on the back that's pretty severe on the left side. You probably saw that already. And I prefer just to give you a bulk price at the end for everything and let you make a decision on that, because if I start going 1 and 2 and 3, it ends up being, you might make something on one, lose something on the other, but the total ends up adding up. But if I go through every single one, I probably would be here longer than it'd be worth it for you or for me. So
sure, yeah. And one other thing I would point out as a possibility that you could look at, I was told it was, but I couldn't quite determine if that 1820 bus was a 20 over 19.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks like it's a 1820 over 19 square base 2. Just trying to gauge what do I pay since it's been cleaned so harshly, but that's my issue currently. And they put the gray sheet based on the grade that I see it at. Like the gray sheet's like $105 in VG8, and that's if it wasn't cleaned. So do you want to guess? I guess what percentage do you think that of the coins have been cleaned before? Just out of your thought process, like 50% or?
I would say more than that. I had marked it down. But really, when it comes to that, I'm kind of relying on your expertise. Because as far as numismatics go, I'm
right. So
definitely not looking at it every day like you are. So
you're good. Just to let you know, like these 3 coins, I would say haven't been cleaned before, and the rest of them have been slightly cleaned or cleaned heavily. So that's going to go into the price of it itself. I think everything here would be $3,000. That's what I'd be able to pay for that. So it's just $3,000 is probably all I can pay for that. Just because I have to photo it all, ship it all, including the bus tab thing. Yeah, I based this one off of, I just put $400 on it, which would round us to $3,000. But everything else is $26,000. And if this one came back $55,000 after grading and everything, I could sell it for $600, something like that. So it just really just depends on you. And if it comes back clean, then I basically have what less. I actually lose on that one, but that's what I'd be able to pay. So
what value were you showing on the seated dollar?
On that one, I think it's as similar as this one. It was $400, and they're selling most of those in the $500 to $550 range. But once again, it's hanging on that 10% fees, shipping, photoing, all that jazz.
You don't think the rotated dies would add any value whatsoever?
I post it as it is, and just let it rip. Like for me, I wouldn't treat it any different, in my opinion. But it just kind of depends on how you feel about that. So
your offer's $3,000 for everything.
Correct.
There?
Everything for everything. Yeah. I just rounded this. Everything around here was about almost $2,600, and I just said I would round it up to $3,000 because the cap was half.
There's any way you can squeeze it to 35?
No, to me, I couldn't. No. A lot of this stuff it wouldn't be worth it. No, it'd be easier just to keep the money, in my opinion, than do that.
And any counter to that number at all?
If you do get, I don't know if you're wanting to reach for the gold with a different amount of payment, but I could probably try to take something off the gold price if that helps you. But that's probably the best I could figure out for you.
Did you bring a couple coins?
I brought
to
2.
Look at?
Yeah, so I brought a graded Saint, and then I brought a raw lib. That's what I have.
What was the grade on it?
It's a 2.
2.
Yep. And basically, I think all of them are in the same ballpark. It's just around the spot price at this point. So
how much from me would it take for either of these coins?
Yeah, basically, I think I could probably sell it for $25 under melt, just $39.50. That allows me to make a few bucks, but melt currently is $39.75. So it'd be just a $950 difference.
But you don't have like credit card swiper or anything.
I do, but it charges me 3.5%.
You could just add that on if you want. If we
Okay.
if we could do that.
Okay. Do you have a card that you would like me to use?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all for us then, Eddie. If you're cool with it.
I think so. It's a beautiful coin. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Good luck with those coins, man. That was a lot. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for your service. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity, Eddie. Appreciate
All right.
it.
You guys have a good one.
You too. Drive safe. So as you guys saw from the meeting, he wanted around $5,000 for all of his raw coins. I really couldn't get there because I felt like we were giving him almost all the money at $3,000, but the deal ended up working out. When we were taking a look at the 1913D $20 St. Gaudens, we ended up buying that coin probably a month and a half ago for around $3,200. So that just tells you how much gold has risen in this time. But if you guys have ever considered selling your coin collection to us, you guys can always reach out to us at 832-538-4122. You guys can text us photos, or you guys can email us at acousticcollectibles@gmail.com. We're going to spend a few moments today showing you guys some of the coins that we bought from Eddie, giving you guys our rationale on why we felt they were cleaned, and also what you guys can look out for if you guys are buying raw coins. Alright guys, I want to explore a few type coins in this video, show you guys exactly what we were looking at when we were sitting down with the customer. And so you see this first coin here, this 1846 O seated dollar. You can kind of see this scuffiness, this kind of whiteness in the fields. You can also see these haloing around the stars of the coin. You can also see this brushing, or kind of a change in terms of the way that the coin should look. So when you're taking a look at the side of this coin, you could just see kind of like this weird metallic change, like somebody put something on it, brushed it, all sorts of things that happen to this coin. See, a lot of these things that happen to this coin we feel like weren't naturally happening to it. Someone messed with it, tried to pull the luster out of it, whatever, right? There also are a few other things to note. There's 2 staple scratches. So there's a staple scratch right above the wing there, as you can see. And then when you take a look at the other side, you can see it just jumping out right there. So this coin has been cleaned, and it also has a staple scratch on it. So we wanted to make sure to price that one right, but that is something to consider. Then we have this 1864S seated $half. So a better date for sure, but you can see right off the bat someone dipped this in polish, because when you're taking a look at this coin itself, it's just one flat looking surface. There's no cartwheel really happening to this coin. If the light hits it, it literally is just a flat, undynamic surface. And you can also see it by just this weird look that most coins really shouldn't have. It almost looks like it has like a shipwreck effect to it. And, you know, it's unfortunate, but this coin definitely has been cleaned before, and there's a lot of issues with it. But we try to buy everything. It just depends on the price, and we try to be as accurate as possible in terms of grading when buying a coin. This one is 1834 cap bust $half. So when you're taking a look at this coin, once again, you can kind of see this brushing from the details all the way into the fields. You can see that haloing around the stars. It's just a more like nice detail of a coin, but it's definitely not original in terms of if you were to send it in for grading. It's just a very strange looking surface. It almost looks like it has some stippling or spotting in the surfaces of the coin, but that really is just from someone dipping it harshly and then wiping it. And there are also, once again, a few scratches. You can see the staple scratch right on the cheek there, and that really is just from a 2x2. Someone put it in, and then a staple from another 2x2 probably scratched it. We have this 1859 O seated $half. You can kind of see this really dark, ugly-ish impairment on the obverse, and that really is just from environmental damage. So whoever found this coin probably found it maybe in, you know, the dirt or the mud, or they ended up finding it before it was actually too late to actually save the coin itself. And you can kind of see that on the back. So it's kind of inhibiting what the coin should look like. It almost has like this too dark of a crust. And this is what they would chalk up to environmental damage, in my opinion, if we sent it into the graders today. Then we have this 1826 cap bust half. Once again, you can kind of see this haloing around the stars, these brush lines all the way up and down the coin. And a lot of the type coins you end up running into, especially if you have an office, are cleaned. There is damage right above the S in pluribus as well. So someone ended up scratching it with something really, really harshly, and that held it back from really it being a grade-worthy piece. But that's why it's good to distinguish those. We have this 1917D Type 1 Standing Liberty Quarter. Once again, this one was dipped actually very harshly. There's still a nice cartwheel luster to it. It's probably AU details, but this coin definitely has been messed with beyond market acceptability. And market acceptability really is that, you know, we will accept the coin as it is, even though if we know it's clean, and give it a straight grade. But there are coins that are just too far gone. And when I see this coin itself, I could recognize that they would never grade this coin. Then we have this 1843 seated quarter. So once again, we're seeing this similar situation here, the haloing around the stars. And then when you're actually tilting the coin down, it turns completely dark. And when you're taking a look at the coin itself, it just has this very odd looking surfaces to it. It was just dipped very harshly. There's a bunch of hairlines you can see right above the eagle on the reverse. So it's unfortunate what a lot of coins ended up enduring when people were trying to sell them raw. And yeah, there wasn't graders back then, so that's what people would do. They would actually clean the coin so they can get more money for them. But this is a 1914 Barber quarter. Of all the coins that I wanted to show you today, this one probably would be worth grading. We ended up listing this one raw, but we feel like there's no hairlines on it, no damage to it. A little bit of light circulation. It's probably an AU 55 or 58 by today's standards. And the reverse is much nicer than the obverse, so something for you guys to take a look at. Then we have two more seated quarters here. This 1878S seated quarter. I think it's actually a P. We'll see in a minute. But it does have like this weird darkness and wipeage in the fields. Someone kind of used a little bit of like a Brillo pad and kind of wiped in the fields a little bit there. These might be market acceptable, but for me, I just would rather sell them raw and not go through all the hassle. The reverse is exactly how it should look, but I think someone dipped the obverse. Maybe there was something on it, and I'm not sure this coin would actually pass by today's standards. Then we have this 1876S seated quarter. So right off the bat, you can see this staple scratch going from right at the leg all the way to the edge of the coin. And once again, there's some hairlines there, but those might be market acceptable themselves. But when you're taking a look at that coin, you can definitely see that staple scratch what holds it back. So here are a few raw coins from that deal, and this just gives you guys clarity of what we're actually looking at and what we ended up buying. We post a lot of our new purchases on our website at acousticcollectibles.com. If you guys want to take a look at those, you can. We also post a lot of our low-end new purchases on our eBay just to support us and add coins to your collection. We're constantly getting in new pieces every single week, so you guys should go check those out.
Thank you guys for watching today's video. We hoped you learned something when we were reviewing those raw coins with Drew. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.